Hello. I am now watching me. Watch me. Watch me. Watch me. Watch me. Watch me. Watch me. This is a little bit of a different background. Crete had an internet outage today, so my ambitions to post videos did not happen. So I'm doing it from home. So a little bit of a background difference. We're going to go ahead and get started here. So this is where we left off. We had just drawn the foliage layout. What we're going to do today is I'm going to go to my model and I'm going to hide some parking lot hatch and that sidewalk hatch too. Just personal aesthetics here. And I am going to be working on these three playground spaces that I've identified. This one, and this one. If we go into our project description, we have to have, according to this, it says it needs to be a zoomed in view of the playground and it will include labeled playground components. It can be, and the labeled playground components can be drawn as next out box. Now, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take advantage of that wholly and completely. The first thing I'm going to do is a fun little trick where I already drew these boxes in here. I'm going to bring them out, and I'm going to straighten them out, and then I'm going to bring them back. The whole reason why is because I don't really want to draw on the space. It gets so crowded, it's just overwhelming to me. If I bring them out, I can draw on them a little nicer. You can do whatever you want. There's no one right way to make an AutoCAD drawing like this. So I'm just going to create a generic playground structure. So I'm going to go in here. Let's see. I'm going to go into playground structures. And I'm going to create a tiny rectangle. I don't know, maybe 10 feet by 10 feet. If I go ahead and type in 10 feet, 120 inches, you'll notice that it shows up over here. And then I have to hit tab to go over to the other one. And you'll notice that's now fixed. And stretch it out. Woo, woo, woo. Boing, boing, boing. I type 10 feet there, hit enter, and that is now a 10 foot by 10 foot box. What I'm going to do then is I'm just going to draw lines like this. Okay, and that's going to represent a 10 foot by 10 foot playground structure. Now this could be a number of things. It could be climbing wall, could be a carousel, could be just a bunch of things. In this instance, I'm going to have this be a carousel. Now, in your research, we're going to go ahead and pop out a new window here. ADA, you should have found some ADA compliant playground equipment. Okay, and there's a bunch of different websites that are available that can show you different types of equipment that are available. Here's a fun little giant playground. You'll notice it has a bunch of aerial structures that create shade, and it's got some fun slides, and this is so dang complex. There is no way you would even want to draw this on AutoCAD. But you could sit here and look at, it's got swings, slides, climbers, ring riders, spinners. Ooh, rocks. I just want to buy rocks. Just only rocks. There we go. It's a fun rock you can climb on and has ropes on it. Well, there are a bunch of different manufacturers who simply have these sites available so that you can go in like Little Tykes, where now here's This one's a little bit more designed towards littler kids, but look at that giant plastic pirate ship. Who doesn't want to play in something like that? And you can look at different products. Here's a brochure that you can download on inclusive equipment. I mean, a lot of this stuff is very accessible, and it's made accessible by. Ooh, how do I click over? Well, it's made accessible by the manufacturers, and they describe the types of things. Hopefully, at this point, you know the kinds of structures you want on your playground. But there's just so much information here. You can get a weird wobble sphere. That sounds terrifying to me. Zoom twist with floor. I'm just going to say, you know what? For this one, generally what you would do in a playground structure is you would collaborate with a distributor and say, here's the type of equipment that I would anticipate using. And usually it would be all from one distributor. You would, as a part of your project, go out and get a quote. Now that's not realistic. For this, trying to explain, hey, I'm doing this for a class project. I need you to give me a quote, but it doesn't have to be a real quote. They may not be so conducive. They may not call you back. So we're just going to have to kind of make up some numbers for that. If you can find numbers, great. But here, they don't list catalog prices for this because sometimes they'll cut you a deal. Sometimes if it's lumped in with other things, it works out. But I'm just going to pick a bunch of different structures that come out of this catalog, and I'm going to go ahead and put that in here. So I'll have some swings. I'll have maybe a nice little zip line thing like that. That looks awesome. I really like playgrounds just in general. I like the zoom twist. I like this climbing structure here. I'll probably have just a large climbing structure, and when I go to give, if I were to go and give my presentation, I would actually show this climbing structure right here. I would just show this picture because that's actually what it looks like. Rather than trying to draw it, which I wouldn't do a very good job at, being able to include pictures from a brochure would look just as professional in a presentation. You'd have a slide designated to say, here's what this component is, here's what this component is, here's what it looks like. You notice that a full structure like this includes the easy ones, which is just climbing steps, the medium ones, which are things to climb up, and then the harder ones, which are higher advanced skill levels. Having this gradation of different skill levels that are required to get in, it does make it a lot more accessible because you'll have the kids that may not be able to climb very well can scoot in on the easy access ramp, whereas the kids who were like me, who wouldn't stop climbing on everything, would always take the hardest route possible to get in. So I'll go ahead and take this structure. Let me see if I can find a name. Yeah, I think it doesn't show a name, but this is just an idea of one. Ooh, an embedded YouTube video inside of a PDF. That's awesome. They have music making things. I don't care so much for the music making things. I was never a very musical person, which is interesting because I did choir. And I was in band. I didn't like music on a playground. I just like yelling on a playground, mostly. Lists of equipment that are inclusive. Look at that pirate ship. It's pretty awesome. Okay, so when we go into our playground structure, I'm going to go ahead and say this is that. Let's see, what was it? What was it called? This is the zoom twist with floor. Okay, and then I'll go ahead and draw this thing, which will just be a box with an X in it. And then maybe I'll go over here and ooh, I'll take one of those. I still want some of these from my backyard now. What if they make them in adult sizes? Oh, I want that. That looks like fun. Anyways, so I'm gonna have like a rock climbing thing. It'll be about maybe 15 by 15 feet. So we'll start out here, and this is my zoom twist rotating carousel. I'm gonna go ahead and move this, and I'll put it. You know what? I'll put it at the back of this one. This one is going to be my large play structure. So I'll go ahead and draw a rectangle. My large play structure. I would expect that's about 40 feet long. So 40 feet by maybe 20 feet. So I'll type in 240, tab 480, enter. And that will be this play structure here. I'm going to go ahead and put that close to the street because I think that's cool. I wonder why that's cut. Oh, I know why that's cut. Never mind. I got this one here, got that one there. I'll go ahead and draw a line through it. And as I'm drawing these, I should probably be a little bit more deliberate in the way that I do this. So I'm going to go ahead, not on this page. I'm going to go ahead and kind of jump in here into the Layouts tab, right click, from Template, and select my AutoCAD, open, okay, and generate a new page. Let's see, where'd it go? Is that it all the way over there? Oh, it is not it. Where are you? You have to click the arrow. AutoCAD is dumb. Sometimes I make it hard to find. Here, this one's called Layout 1 Ang Sheet. It's invisible here. You have to click on the double arrows to find it. Start out by renaming this 5 playground details. Okay. First things first, go in here and edit my drawing. So this will be playground details. Again, I have to just erase that because for some reason messed up on mine. Change that to architectural units. Here, my scale is going to be different than I've been using because it's going to be a zoomed in view. So we'll figure that one out later. And then lastly, this is page 5. So, okay. Let's go ahead and add our viewport. Create a rectangular one. Go from here down to here. I'll go ahead and select this. And I'll put it in the viewport layer. And there we go. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do first is I'm actually just going to zoom in on the playground portion of my drawing. Make sure it fits nicely in the drawing. But that's about what I want right there. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to shut off everything in here that doesn't have anything to do with my 3 pavement pads that I created, which I should have drawn a play surface structure. I didn't do that. I will add some benches and tables, but I don't need boundaries. I don't need buildings. I don't want construction lines, depth points, dimensions. I can keep foliage. That doesn't hurt anything, but I don't want it. Turn off my grass, my lakes. Probably not going to end up drawing any lights. The closer we get to the end of this project, some of these things I don't need. I don't want the hatch. I don't want sidewalk hatch, and I also don't want sidewalks. I'm going to keep the parking lots because that's what I drew the 3 play surfaces in. I'm also going to keep playground structures. I'm going to turn off trees. And I certainly don't want to see zones. So shut off all of those, and all that you're left with is just the outlines of your playground. Which that's okay, because I'm just going to put stuff in here. Let's figure out what kind of a zoom we're gonna use. So I'm gonna hit zoom, scale, and we've been using. Hold on. Gotta make sure my viewport's back to the normal size again. I'll click on here, hit zoom, scale, and now we've been using the 0.008333 because that's a 1 to 1200 scale. We don't want a 1 to 1200 scale. We might want a 1 to 400 scale, which is about a 1 inch is equal to 33 feet. We could do 1 inch equals 40 feet, which is a 1 to what? 480 scale. So if I go into my calculator, pull that up. So 1 divided by 480 is 0.002083. So if I go back in here and I type in 0.002083 repeating, it's a little bit zoomed out from where I'm at, but that's actually pretty close to what I want. So that is now a 1 inch is equal to 40 feet scaling for my drawing. And that's good. I like that. Came out conveniently. I like it when things come together on the first try. Shrink down my viewport so all I see are these 3 playground structures. Which I guess I could have done earlier, but whatever. And I'll update my scale. So my scale is 1 inch is equal to 40 feet. Okay, a little bit of zoomed in view. So somebody would be able to go in here and actually measure, okay, how far away are these? Now we're going to be giving exact locations. The thing about contractors is contractors understand you just kind of build it and you make it work. And we're not going to be fine-tune forcing them to build exactly this. A lot of what this is a suggestion, because a contractor may go out and may find cheaper pricing on a lot of different equipment and end up using something completely different than what you suggested. So really all we're doing here is providing a suggestion. It's just kind of a disappointment, but it is what it is. So now I'm going to go back into my model view. All these drawings that I drew that I put way up here, they mean nothing now. I shouldn't have even done it. Hindsight's 20/20. I'll go ahead and move this down here. You know what? I'm just going to shut off these other layers. I don't want foliage, grass, shut off that lake, lights, notes, shut off my sidewalks, shut off my trees. Okay, so now I'm only focusing on the playground structures and the lot that I built them on. Okay, so I've got, here's going to be my oblong type of structure. So I'll go back. I'm going to jump back and forth a little bit here. But I'm going to create a table. So to create a table, that's actually a good question. I don't know how to insert a table in AutoCAD. It might be in the, there it is, annotate. So I'll go ahead and create a table. Here I'm going to have it be 1, 2, 3 columns. Nope, 4 columns. My column width, I don't know, I'm going to adjust it afterwards. The data rows, I'm going to want probably, I'll probably put 10 in. Hit OK. And you'll notice my table is gigantic and unnecessarily huge. So I'm going to put it here, which is awesome. I'm going to move my viewport. Because I need some space for my table. Try not to move my viewport out of the view. Go back in, and now change my text size to 0.1. Oh no! Well, let me change my text size to 0.1. I don't have any text styles that I created. Let me change the text size. Dang it. Okay. So this is going to have to shrink a lot. Go ahead and grab onto this, drag it over to this, drag it over, drag this one over. My last column is going to be really short. Now my first column is also going to be really short because I don't need it. It's going to be my part number. And then the next one's going to be my part name. Third one's going to be description. Fourth one's going to be quantity. Okay, so that's my table. Let me grab this, and now I move you. I'm going to go into my move command. Do it that way. Okay, and now what I'm going to do, just to make things simple, move this from this corner and put it up there on the top right. Okay. Now, when I select all of these, I'm actually going to put some text in here. I want this to be 0.1, nope, not 0.18. I might actually have it be 0.0625. Part number. That'll give me enough space to actually type in this table. Okay, so now this one is going to be part name, description, I think I'm going to try to select all of these and get them to all be, see if I can change the default text height. Yeah, it's not going to let me. Dang. I'm going to change these on every single one. It's like my worst nightmare. Quantity. Count would have been another one. Now, part number only needs to be a number. So I'm going to shrink that to as small as possible. Part name is going to be kind of short. It'll be a short description. I at least need to get quantity to work out, so I'll stretch that one out a little bit. So that looks nice. I'll go ahead and type up here. This one I'm fine with it being a little bit bigger text. This will be our bill of materials. Okay, bill of materials. I'm going to quickly click on this before I move any further and set this to my notes layer, which in this layout is actually turned off. Nice work, Cal. Turn the notes back on. So you'll notice now I can actually see it, which is usually what you want to have happen. Okay, so start 1. Oh wait, I think you can do a gross font edit on all of these. We'll see. 3, 4, 5. At this point, I'm actually just counting on a live stream. You are watching me count. Nice. So for every part number, you would have one of those. Let me see if I can't format cells all at once. So I hit Shift click and that selected a row. I'm going to my annotate tab and I want to change its size. Won't let me. Cell format. Oh, I can only, yep. Data format. It's going to be a whole number. Yeah. Dang. Try right clicking on here and change the, first of all, alignment. I want all these to be middle center. Right click on here, see data format. Let me see if that does. Nope, that's not it. Locking, alignment, background fill, cell style. Where do I edit cell style? It's kind of silly. I would expect to be able to properties. Content text. There it is. 0.0625. No, no. Escape. No. This to this. I go down here. I don't want it to be 0.18. I want it to be 0.0625. Hit enter, and then they all shrink. Escape. That's what I want. And then, so we can format these. We should format these right away. So alignment, middle center. I don't know why these are all top center all of a sudden. But I will select all of them. First I'm going to change my text height and enter here. Alignment, I don't want top center, I want middle center. And that'll fix all of them. So there we go. Now I'm going to select all of these ones here. Just again, I hit shift click. The alignment, I want them to be top left. Actually, I want them to be middle left. And I'm going to scroll down, and my text size for all of those is going to be 0.0625. Okay. And then for this cell, down here to this one, my cell alignment is going to be middle center, and the text size is 0.0625. I got it. Okay, so all I did to bring this one up was if you right click on a cell, you bring up your properties, properties menu, and that's all that was. So I just right click again, brings up properties, and that pops up. Okay, and we can go away. I just edited the properties to make that do it so that I don't have to do it on every single one. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm in my playground structures layer again. I'm just going to start creating labels for my stuff. Like this is going to be 1, and going to be 0.1. No. 0.1. Not 1.8. Escape. Save my changes. I'll go ahead and position this right under the box. Okay, so now I have part number 1 inserted into the file. I'll go ahead and go in here and type part name is going to be play structure 1. Okay, and this is going to be a multi-level play structure with variated difficulty. Quantity, well, we only have 1 that we're going to install of these on the whole site. So there we go. Nice. So we've added our first structure in. We only have to do that for the entire friggin' playground. So I'll go back here and we'll say, okay, remember how I wanted a 10 by 10. It was that spinny cone. In a bill of materials table, you would actually use more specific names according to the quotes that you received from a vendor. Say, example of product, product number, and that would all be in your bill of materials. You might actually have to have a bill of materials on a separate page because there's so much content. I am clearly not requiring that out of you because it's just a lot of stuff for a freshman level class. I'm going to go ahead and take 2 of these carousels. So we'll put 1 here. And then we'll go down and put 1 over here because why not? And then I'll go back, hit my double arrows, go back to this one. Rather than recreating all of these text symbols, I'm just gonna copy, paste, and then change the number. So this will be 2, and this will also be 2. Okay, now the name of that structure, if I go over here, what was it? Zoom twist with floor. So that's what I will call this. So gotta double click again. Zoom twist with floor. Okay, and this is a conical carousel with handholds for children to hang on to. In here, quantity is 2 because we have 2 of them. It is part number 2 and there are 2 of them. Let's not keep playing that game. So we just have to keep doing this for all of our playground structures. So let's say I go back here and I really want that fun rock, this fun rock climbing thing. But let's say I found a vendor that would sell that rock just by itself because I like climbing rocks. And I found that vendor and their size is 20 by 20. So I'd create a rectangle. And it would be 240, tab 240, enter. I would just generally position this climbing rock where I want it, which I'm going to put it over here, just for funsies, so that you can fall off into the kids over here who are spinning on the zoom twist. Because let's fly for that whimsy. You know, that's actually a terrible location for it. I'm going to take the other zoom twist and move it over here. You want to have enough play surface underneath it that somebody can fall off without getting hurt. And yeah, I mean, that's about 10 feet, but I was a crazy kid. And I will take this, I will move this down here closer to the middle. And this will just be the giant climbing rock. So we'll go back to my 5. Now you'll notice I moved the item that this was associated with, so I will need to go back and move this label to its appropriate position. There's 2. Gonna go ahead, copy 2, bring it over here. Didn't go to the right place, so I'll just move it, and then slide it on in right there. Added this to say 3. A lot of work just to get a 3, but that's how I work. So for part number 3, I have climbing mountain. Okay, and this is a climbing structure with a canopy overhead that has various rock-like features. You'll notice the table grows to expand for the fact that that one was larger, and here we only have 1 of them. So we're just going to keep going through. I'll go in here and I'll make, and you're free to also rotate items. So like here I'm going to make some swings. Swings are about 5 feet by maybe 40 feet. Okay. Take a line. Just create an enclosed little box here. The X's on the inside of these help to designate that it's a full square and it's not just part of some other structure. I'm going to rotate this a little bit because I want the swings to kind of be parallel with this pad here. And then I'll move them to the back over here. Like that. I'll probably create another structure here. This will probably be just a big slide. My slide is probably going to be a 20 foot by 20 foot structure, so 240, 240. Put a line on it. I'll just copy that other one, but it's whatever. And this will be my slide. I'm going to rotate this one as well, just because, again, I want it to be kind of in line with that structure. Grab it, move it, put it down. So I have a slide, some swings, some open space for the swings to go into. I'm going to put a little zip line here. I'm going to cheat actually and copy this dimensions. It's about a 5 by 40. So just cheating here, and gonna go ahead and steal that. Don't have to redraw it. So there's gonna be the zip line. And lastly over here, I'm actually going to create a fairly large structure. It'll be similar to what this looks like, but I'll probably pick something like maybe something circular like this or like this. There's actually a part number here, UP20-71866. So you know what, I'm just going to throw that in here, and that's about an 80 by 80. I hope that my space can fit it. I'm not sure. Let's assume that it's actually 40 by 40. 4080 to 480. And that'll probably fit. So I should put my swings on the circular one. poor design. And there we go. Now I have all my features that I want here. Now what I will do is I'm going to create some rectangles. And these are going to represent benches. Now benches are 36 tab by about 48, no, 72. About 36 by, I'm going to put this in the benches and tables layer. And then I'm going to copy this to a lot of different places. I want one that's, I'm gonna put like 4 of them over here. I'm gonna put a couple of benches around this structure here. So the parents can watch their kids. And then I'll put some structures, some benches over here. Now I do have sidewalk up here, so I am limited on where I can put these. In fact, I should probably pop up my sidewalks and make sure, yep, put some of these on sidewalks. So I'll just adjust the locations now, so they're not on the sidewalks, but they're close to the sidewalks. You want to be able to walk to your benches. But it's also nice to have benches in grassy areas that are a little bit away from the sidewalk so that people who are walking don't walk right behind you, which is a little creepy. You can delete that one over there because that was my prototype. And move into place. I probably should have just done one. CO, enter, pick a base point somewhere over here, and just drag it straight down, straight down, straight down. 4 benches. It's nice. If you wanted to put a water fountain somewhere over here, this would probably be an appropriate place for it. I think I just made that an open field, because why not? I'm going to rotate this one. Nope, that wasn't the rotate function. RO. Pick a base point. And then I will just generally rotate it to kind of meet this. And again, this isn't too far away from a sidewalk. But I'm going to put a lot of them here for families to get to enjoy staring at other people's kids, because why else go to a park? I'm not going to put any over there on that sidewalk just because I want the benches to be a little bit away from other people, just a little bit of separation there. So now I'm going to go back and label everything because I didn't do that already. You'll notice I left the benches up. The benches all align nicely. I could probably turn on my sidewalks too, to show how the benches align with the sidewalk. I think I'll do that. So, turn on sidewalks. That gives it just a little bit of a base point to reference everything from. Okay, I am now back in my paper space. So I will copy this. This will be my part number 3, be my part number 4, 5, and this down here will be my part number 6. Now again, I am going to need to move this label because it's now overlapping, so I'll just move it next to it. So, as I said, oh, accidentally moved that. Come on. Oh, dang. You enter. Just let me edit you. 3. Would have been so much easier another way. Four. Oops. You accidentally double clicked on that. Viewport. 5, and then this will be my 6. So I have a pretty simple one, and if you want to have a simple one too, that's fine. I will then delete the text out of this, and then I'll put benches down here and state numbers and quantities. So my number 3 was a climbing mountain. Oops, this is going to have to be number 7. I already used 3. Didn't realize that. Which means I'm going to have to put a 7 in here. And 7 is massive! So, right click, go to properties. This is middle center. I want it to be 10625. And close out of properties. So number 4 is swing set. Description of this is a multi type swing set, with accessible swings. I'm assuming I'm getting this from a vendor. I have a quantity of 1. 5. 5 is a zip line. A rope hung seat on a zip line track. 1. 6 is it's my play structure, which the name of that was UP2071866. So this will be play structure 2, UP2071886, play structure from play types. And this will also be quantity 1, 7. That one was going to be my slide. And this will be maybe a 10-foot tall spiral slide. We'll have, again, 1. Okay, I'll go down here, and I'm just going to type the letter B. B stands for benches. And we'll say bench, an all-weather bench. And here, according to this drawing, we have 6, 10, 14. I do have to make this smaller. Done. Okay, and there we go. Now I have finished my page. So we are done now with playground details. We have 2 pages left. I will try to get those 2 pages done tomorrow before class, but bill of materials is actually going to be a very, very simple one. We'll go ahead and reference this bill of materials in our bill of materials. Pick it up